What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about foods from every Canadian province. So I had no idea, but apparently every Canadian province is known for a specific food. So today, I thought it'd be very fun to check out this list and learn about some of these unique Canadian foods. So let's take a look, starting with Newfoundland cod tongues. Cod tongues, it says here. I don't get me wrong. I don't want to disparage or criticize Canadian culture. But cod tongues? What do you mean a cod tongue? Like a cod, like a fish? Fishes have tongues? And you eat them? This is a Newfoundland cod. It's just not what I was expecting. It says this is pretty much as it sounds. A mussel taken from the back of a cod's mouth. It is then deep fried. This is also popular in Norway, they think. And this dish can only be found in Newfoundland, in Canada. I got some questions about this one. Who was the first Canadian, the first Newfoundlander to decide, like, I'm gonna rip out this back muscle from the cod's mouth and deep fry it and eat it? Who did that? I don't know. Maybe this is good. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little judgmental here. Maybe I'm not being open-minded enough. But cod tongue might be where I draw the line. Let's keep going. Oh, they also have jigs, dinner, and scrunchions. No idea what that means. Next is Nova Scotia rapple pie. You know. I gotta try to control myself here because I don't want to. I really don't want to be like, oh God, for every Canadian dish here. But this one looks a bit slimy, for lack of a better word. For pie? Is this pie? While this official food invention of Nova Scotia is the donair. Oh, the official food of Nova Scotia is the donair, which is popular across the country. The rapple pie is unique to the area. So the donair can be found across Canada. I'm not sure what a donair is, but it's the rapple pie that is distinctly Nova Scotian. It's basically dehydrated potatoes that is then rehydrated with broth and then mixed with meat. It's why it has an odd texture and despite essentially being mashed potatoes mixed with meat, it looks a little strange. It does look a little strange. This is just potato? Really interesting process. I was going to say weird. And as an American, I'm sorry, this is a little weird. That's the beautiful thing about the differences between our cultures. We're a little weird for each other. Mashed potatoes that have been dehydrated, rehydrated, and mixed with meat. In theory, I like mashed potatoes. I like meat. This could be good. I'm more open to this than the cod tongue. But so far, I gotta say, these Canadian dishes are throwing me for a loop a little bit. New Brunswick has a ployee. A pancake? A ploy? A ployee? I'm not sure how you pronounce this. This looks normal. More normal. It's a classic from New Brunswick, from Acadian history. It's similar to a pancake, except that it's savory and made with buckwheat. Then you add a bit of butter and a touch of maple syrup, and you're ready to go. See, this I can get on board with. Basically a pancake. Us Americans, we love pancakes. I can just eat a pancake, maple syrup. Yeah, I'll be okay. I can deal with this. Interesting. And it has to do with New Brunswick's Acadian history. That's pretty cool. Okay. Let's keep going here. Another proud Acadian province, the salt cod fish cakes are uniquely from Prince Edward Island. Salt cod fish cake. So it's like fish, a fish cake. I don't eat much fish. I think most Americans don't eat a lot of fish. Fish is good for you. Some fish I've had is good. I'd be open to the salt cod fish cake. It looks appetizing, the photo. I feel, I don't know what's happened, but this video I've turned into some kind of food critic. You'll have to bear with me. Believe me, I'll acknowledge I don't know anything about foods and fine taste and cod tongues and rehydrated potatoes. Maybe that's all great, but to my palate, this seems nice. You can find this pretty much at any restaurant on Prince Edward Island. Remember to do as the Japanese do when you visit. Dress up like Anne of Green Gables. Okay. Do I have to? do I have to dress up like Anne of Green Gables and eat fish cakes? Maybe that's a good time. I don't know. Um, Apparently, Japanese people are aware of Anne of Green Gables and a little obsessed with her. Okay, that's good. Prince Edward Island for you. Let's keep going here. Let's go through all the Canadian provinces. For Quebec, it's Montreal smoked meat. Wasn't poutine invented in Quebec? I'm surprised to not see poutine here. Instead, we're seeing Montreal smoked meats. There's too many to mention. Quebec, especially Montreal, has a unique culinary history with influence from France, England, kosher, New York, Portugal, Europe, and Italy. It's very international. The one food that was especially Quebec to me, besides maple syrup, is the Montreal smoked meat. Ooh, this does look good. That looks fresh. Oh my goodness. Um, there's cousins to this, like the pastrami, and the spicing and preparation has made this a phenomenon that is they attempt to duplicate, but no one can get quite right, like the Quebecois can with this smoked meat. That does look good. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Surprised I don't see poutine. I thought that was like a Quebec thing. Or I think that's popular all over Canada, right? But I thought it was invented in Quebec. Anyway, so this is a fun surprise. Smoked meat, that does look good. I didn't know Quebec was known for like its special smoked meat. That's really intriguing, actually. Ontario, okay. Probably the province most Americans have heard of, and it's known for pickerel. What is pickerel? It's this fish. It's that fish. This gentleman's holding. I didn't know Canadians were so into fish. I understand with like the eastern provinces, like the maritime provinces, being like islands and on the coast, but I didn't expect the provincial dish of Ontario to be pickerel. Ontario is home to Canada's biggest city. It has incredible selection of food. There's just so many foods you can find. But strangely, they don't have many truly unique Ontario dishes. It's more, we do foods that everyone in the world does, just better. So Ontario, especially with Toronto being in Ontario, has just like a lot of foods from all over the world, which is pretty cool. But with its thousands of freshwater lakes, oh, that's what it is. Ontario has lakes. This is the stuff I don't think about. Oh yes, that's why the fish, the pickerel. Ontario has a tasty superstar fish caught in the Northeast, the pickerel. Really? On people from Ontario, do you find yourself ever eating this fish? I've never heard of this fish before. I've heard of salmon, cod, tilapia. Not really. I've never heard of a pickerel. I've heard of a mackerel. Huh. This is an interesting list. Interesting list. If you're Canadian and you're from any of these provinces, feel free to like leave a comment about what you think the dish of your province really is, because I'm curious how that lines up with this list. We're on to Manitoba, and it's the Shmoo Torte. What a name. Am I saying this right? Shmoo Tort. Shmoo Torte. It's an odd cake, unique to Manitoba. It's popular in the bakeries and Winnipeg bar mitzvahs. Really? Look at this cake. What is in this cake? It looks good. I like cake, said every American ever. I like cake. So I'm okay with it. It's the what is this? Soft pecan laced angel food cake that is torted. I'm not sure what torted means. I think I'm not quite cultured enough to know that. It's filled with sweetened whipped cream and topped with buttery caramel sauce. This sounds good. Maybe it's cheating that it's cake. I like this one. I like what I see. This person has never had it, but it's really known in Manitoba, and it's hasn't spread much out of Winnipeg. Okay, cool. Very cool. Saskatchewan has the Saskatoon Berry Pie. This province has a number of foods. It's heavily influenced by Russian and Ukrainian immigrants and Mormons, but the pie is definitely Saskatchewan. Saskatoon Berry Pie. It looks like the pie has like a little smiley face on it. Does anyone else see that? It's like doing this. Like I don't know how to make my eyes like that, but it's a very happy pie that's going to be eaten. It's made from Saskatoon berries. Something about that just rings like Saskatoon berries. I don't know what that is, but sounds like a good berry and a good pie. This is intriguing. This is probably really good. I like that. Alberta has ginger beef. Ginger beef? What is ginger beef? I hadn't heard of this uniquely Calgary invented addition to American, Canadian, Chinese food. Ginger beef, right? This did seem like Asian to me. Sweet as all heck. It's this beef-centric province has this take on a Chinese-style deep-fried breaded beef. Wow. This is it's like a twist on a Chinese food. Ginger beef. This is Alberta? I never would have guessed this. Huh, I mean, it looks good. Like, I would expect to see this in maybe like a Chinese restaurant. That's really interesting twist. How it's like Canadian Chinese twist on beef. I like it. I like it. British Columbia, the British Columbia roll. This is like sushi. This is throwing me for a loop a little bit because I didn't expect Canadian foods to necessarily have such an Asian influence, but aren't there a lot of Asian immigrants in Canada? So maybe this makes a lot of sense. I'm going to cheat on British Columbia. This province has many foods and the number of great foods. But like Ontario, British Columbia does a lot of foods, as good as or better, just from all around the world. But not too many unique ones to British Columbia. Ah, I see. So we've chosen the British Columbia roll. It's literally a sushi roll. That's like what makes it British Columbia. The BC roll was invented in 1974 and has been something unusual in the sushi world. Yeah, what is this? What's in it? They're not going to say? It was used with locally sourced ingredients, but they don't say what's in it. What is this? It's a mystery. What's the BC roll? Any British Columbians out there know what is in this? Looks pretty good. If you like sushi, I'm sure you'll like this. Cool. All right. We're moving on to the territories. Yukon. Musk ox chops. What? Wait, what? This territory is the game, meat, and seafood haven. Has crab, salmon, wild game meats. And we're looking at musk ox chops. Like part of an ox? You eat ox? It's musk ox meat. That is the most Yukon thing ever. Really. I mean, that'd be interesting. Like, this is certainly not an animal that we eat in America. I'm guessing you don't eat this all over Canada. This is really just a Yukon thing. Interesting. That's kind of cool. Seems like really emphasizing the local culture of the Yukon. Ox meat. I guess I'd try it. Northwest Territories. We got Mactac, beluga whale blubber, beluga whale blubber. I'm sorry. Again, I don't mean to jump to conclusions. This is my ignorant American reaction, but beluga whale blubber. I don't know. That seems like almost like maybe a native Canadian First Nations tribe kind of thing. Maybe with the beluga whale blubber. Um, the native tribes have preserved this recipe from their ancestors. Exactly. Okay. Holy cow. Look how thick it is. That's beluga whale blubber. Look how thick. There's a video. Hold on. Oh my. Oh my. That is a block of blubber. You just eat it? Do you need one of these giant knives? This is like an axe, so you need to cut it? Okay. That's cool. That's different. Nunavut. Ptarmigan. Ptarmigan? Oh no, it's these cute little birds. That's it's funny how we're okay with eating like chickens and even or like ducks, like cute animals. Pigs can be cute. We eat those. Cows, they're cute if you see them. So it's like I understand people around the world eat stuff like these funny birds. This is in Nunavut. This is a First Nations traditional food. And it's a bird. It's a kind of grouse. Huh. I mean, if it's a bird, it's probably good to like chicken or. I think that's the only bird I've ever eaten. But yeah, I know people eat duck or quail or turkey. Yeah. So this is probably good to be completely honest. They are cute. And I think with that, yeah, that's it. That was pretty cool actually. That was just a real quick glimpse into the world of Canadian food. Yeah, I didn't really realize that every Canadian province and territory it has like its own little culture and its own special foods that are unique to it and its history. And this was just a fun way to kind of get a glimpse into that. You'll have to excuse me for my crude reactions to some of the more unique dishes here. Cod tongues, whale blubber. But it's fun to learn about nonetheless. I was surprised by quite a few things here. I enjoyed it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment if you're Canadian with your thoughts on these foods and if you agree or disagree or what you think the food that represents your province. What would it be? That'd be fun to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and learning about Canadian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.